I don't know about you, but when I think about digital art, my mind goes straight to Photoshop and Procreate, basically the modern idea of what digital art is. While Adobe Suite has been around for a while, I personally started digital art back in 2017 on my Surface, using Krita to draw. I taught myself from the ground up, figuring out layers, colour picking, morph tools, all of it. Wasn't always easy, but it felt like unlocking a whole new world at the time. But where did digital art really begin? A couple of weeks ago, I unlocked a memory when I realised one of my favourite games growing up was Art Academy. That meant I was actually doing digital art as a kid, just not in the way we typically think of it now. If you're interested, I've been going through each lesson from the game in separate videos, probably linked below, but for this one, I wanted to compare what Art Academy could do compared to my current most used program, Procreate. I didn't want this video to be too heavily scripted, so there is going to be a few gaps because I didn't think there was any point in fluffing out the script when I didn't really have anything else to say. So I hope you just enjoy watching me draw and explore these two different programs together, and I will be talking in every now and then, but yeah, let me know what you think of this format. Art Academy felt super natural to jump back into. By now I've done a few lessons already, so I've got a decent grasp on what tools are available and how to use them effectively. One of the most useful features in Art Academy is the reference image system. The top screen of the DS shows the reference while you draw on the bottom. Even though the screens are tiny, it still feels like a thoughtful inclusion and it works really well for what it is. My favourite tool, hands down, is the grid. The grid appears both on the reference image and the canvas. That might sound basic, but it's actually something Procreate still doesn't offer. You can add a grid overlay to your canvas in Procreate, but there's no way to have it synced up with the reference image. It's a small thing, but for accuracy or learning proportions, it makes a huge difference. Procreate has a full modern layer system. You can separate your sketch from your colouring, tweak values independently, erase without worry, you know the deal. Art Academy doesn't have this luxury. Once you lay something down, it's there. No layers, no takebacks, and speaking of takebacks, there's no undo either. That part really challenged me. Undo has become second nature in digital art. You make a mark, you don't like it, 2 fingers and it's gone. Without that, every stroke feels more intentional, or at least it has to be. It reminds me of traditional painting, where you're kind of stuck with what you commit to. There's something humbling about that. Colour choice is another area where the contrast is super noticeable. Procreate offers thousands of colours at your fingertips. You can colour pick from anywhere, use palettes, adjust sliders, get exactly what you want instantly. In Art Academy, it's much more limited, but in a kind of rewarding way. You mix colours yourself using virtual paint. There's even a colour picking tool that lets you sample from your reference and you have to try and replicate it manually. This process, it's a bit clunkier, but it also leans into the educational side of the experience. You're not just grabbing what looks good, you're learning how to build the colour from scratch. It's easy to forget how powerful modern tools have made us. We almost don't need to understand colour anymore to get it right. That's not necessarily bad, but it makes going back feel almost like a mental workout. Brush choice isn't, that was really hard to say. Brush choice is an interesting one. Art Academy has a pretty limited selection of brushes. You've got a few key types and that's it. Surprisingly, I didn't really miss having more. It came naturally to me. I think that limitation actually made me think more carefully about each stroke and what I was trying to achieve. Where I did struggle was with the paint and water load feature. You can control how much paint or water is on your brush. While I can see how that can be really powerful, I couldn't quite get the hang of it during the landscape painting I'm doing here. I imagine with more practice I could create some nice texture, but it tripped me up just this time. For Procreate, it has an infinite brush selection. There's the brush engine, which lets you modify every single aspect of a brush, and if that sounds overwhelming, it kind of is. But once you figure it out, it becomes one of the most powerful parts of the app. You can make a brush do almost anything, and even if you don't want to build your own from scratch, there is tons of downloadable ones made by other artists. Still, sometimes I feel like I rely too much on those fancy brushes. They can make things look good without as much effort. And again, that's not a bad thing per se, but it's a different mindset. In Art Academy, every brush stroke is yours. There's no trickery, there's no stamps, just you and the canvas and the marks that you're making on it. So, do I think digital art technology in the past was better? Not really, but it's also not worse. It's just different. It strips away a lot of the convenience and forces you to slow down. You're not just painting, you're observing, you're planning, and you're reacting. Art Academy is an educational tool and it really makes me think about what I'm doing. Both have their value, both can teach you something, and honestly, going back to older tools reminded me why I started drawing digitally in the first place. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to follow along with me, I have my Instagram linked below. I also have my Etsy linked below. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.